Hello, this is Ria with Hope for Today, and today I want to talk about how we actually function when we are dealing, basically with our lives, right? But when we are facing challenges, when we're looking at things ahead of us that we have to overcome, when we have, really really rough feelings sometimes that we have to work through, and the kind of tactic that we really need to make the most of when we want to overcome these moments and not just get through, but be able to build ourselves up and bounce back better. And so what I'm talking about here is actually taking a what I like to call a laminated approach to overcoming obstacles and moving with our lives. I don't want to say on or through our lives. And what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean by that is a lot of times when we talk about ourselves, we actually talk about ourselves like we're disembodied brains that just like science fiction float all over the place, very, very old school Star Trek or Doctor Who. And it's like, you just imagine these like brains all over trying to zap thoughts in. And every so often there is a really cute body nearby, or maybe, a body that you don't think is quite as cute. And for ourselves, we just want to think of ourselves as these crystallized, de-bodied, decontextualized things. And some of us really, hello Lear, this is my cat. Some of us want to feel like we are brain over body and emotions. And that's not really the case. As in, that's really not the case. I flipped those two words. When human beings act, when we are integrated systems where there is no disconnection of our emotions, of our minds, and of our bodies, because we are all integrated together. And that means that the best solutions for when we have challenges in front of us is to take an integrated solution, even when it's the simplest, most small, tiny solution possible. So what do I mean by the fact that we are integrated creatures? Well, we usually imagine human beings as like brains at the top or minds at the top, and then like emotions in this corner maybe, and then bodies in this corner, but often it's like more tilted this way, And we will lead with those aspects of ourselves. So there will be times when our thoughts will lead and we will make decisions to make changes, and our mental determination is going to often compel or even drag our emotions and bodies along, right? But sometimes we will make decisions with our bodies and our bodies will lead. And likewise, sometimes it doesn't matter how hard we think at a thing, it doesn't matter how much we think something is important or real. If we don't get our emotions in line, then what happens is often our emotions will sabotage our mind and bodies. And actually, in a lot of ways, our emotions are, research is beginning to show, the most powerful part of us in terms of determining how we're going to go. But that doesn't mean we don't lead with all of them at different times. So, what does that actually mean? Sometimes we will do something and we will engage in a particular act, and it will have a whole person, like a lot of times, consequences. So for example, when we let stress ratchet up, it can often, for those of us who are predisposed to migraines and headaches, that's me, I definitely have migraines, it can give us stress migraines. Stress actually will amp up not just back tension, not just heart issues, but migraines. And often, if you're too stressed in a given day, you can actually trigger a migraine. Which, if you think about it, yeah, it sucks, but that is so incredibly powerful. Like the power of our emotions is insane. And our actions as well, often when they are directed by thought and then engaged with our bodies, they can change things as well. So there actually was some recent research that came out in 2017 where it showed that doing acts of kindness for others, so even if it was just giving a flower to someone, right? Versus feeling kindness for the world, just having a general sense of, I believe it's agape, where it's like kindness and good feeling for the world or for yourself. So self-compassion, it's not the same as self-compassion, or doing something neutral. So if you were kind to another person and you did so, you were kind regularly, it could lead to changes to your immune cell gene expression associated with disease resistance. So by being kind to others, our immune systems become stronger and we become less predisposed to, and weak to diseases. That's freaking incredible, right? So we are completely integrated systems, even if culturally that is not how we're taught to look at ourselves. But it's something that we have to remember, full thought forward and heart forward, when we are thinking about, how do I get myself out of this bad space? How do I address this negative situation? If you only try to think your way out of a negative situation, then you're only using 1/3 of your superpowers, right? If you are trying to feel your way out of a situation, that's the same thing. So the best solutions to our personal problems and the challenges in our lives are the ones that, however simple and small, leverage our 3 strengths: mind, emotions, body, right? And I'm going to give you just one example for the road, and in future videos, I'll talk about others. So let's say you were having a down moment. Maybe your boss got really mad at you. Maybe you had something happen personally. Maybe you got into a fight with your partner or your kid or whatever else. One of the best ways to sort of decompress and flip your mindset so that you're not just looking at things critically is take a dog for a walk. No, I didn't say just go for a walk. Going for a walk is incredible, all kinds of benefits. But when you go for a walk and you take the benefits where you are releasing endorphins, going for a walk actually will reset your brain after 5 minutes, where it basically hits this cool down cycle, and it gets you out of the situation that was frustrating you. So you remove yourself from the trigger. So just going for a walk is super powerful, right? Get your body out, but it also it can uncouple your emotions and thoughts from the active stimuli. When you engage with fuzzy animals, that actually starts triggering the feel good endorphins in you, and you start actually just seeing pictures of animals, they trigger a mild antidepressant response in our brains, which then floods our bodies. So this gets me so excited. And this is why I go for walks with my puppy Marshall, who is at doggy daycare right now. You go for a walk with a dog, or even if you carry your cat around or whatever else, and you are actually laminating multiple techniques where you are triggering your emotions, you're triggering your body, and you are giving space for your thoughts to go in different directions where you can get yourself out of that rut, and you can start to think about what you need to do next positively and productively. And that's what I'm talking about laminating. So instead of just doing like one particular thing that is effective, see if you can do a couple things. Like maybe organizing is very good for settling your soul. And so maybe you need to clean up your desk and listen to your favorite comedian do like a 5-minute skit on YouTube, or maybe what you need to do is, you could also go for a jog or for a walk and listen to your favorite power music mix. There's science sort of backing up all this that I can go into later, but think about how you can just, basically, do add-ons to the things that make you happy, and do it in really simple, easy ways where you're not putting yourself out or exhausting you. And I guarantee you, if you start doing this regularly, it's going to become easier and easier to be productive, to be proactive, and to get flipped into a positive headspace. All right, talk to you later.